little loops, little peacoat, we call these peacoats, these little things right here. These right here. These are just little loops. They are decorative, granite. But another thing is that they are also used to join. As you can see in this piece, I have this large ring, and I have these little rings joined to them. And I do that by making peacoats on the big ring, and then just joining the smaller rings to this one. And I'll show you how to make the peacoat. You want your needle thread to the right and your ball thread to the left. Sometimes when you set down it gets a little okay. Now, since I'm going to do a little peacoat. Now I do the same thing that I did with the chain. I lay my needle, I lay the ring on my finger, the needle on top, so that it ends up right at where I end it. And you notice I kind of push this to the side here with my middle finger, so it's out of my way. What I'm going to do is I am going to do okay, so we're going to take and do 6 stitches. And that's 6 sets of stitches, not individual. We have our 6. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my finger at the end of those 6 that I just did, right there. And then I'm going to make another stitch. And what this does, it creates a little space there. And when I do that, there's your peacoat. All a peacoat is a space left between 2 stitches. So now I'll do 5 more. If you want to check and see how many you have done, you notice I move that space there because I know I have 6 there and I only have 5 there, so I need to do 1 more. And then you just do the same thing. The sandwich here, pull the threads through, guide the thread through, make sure other stuff doesn't get caught up in it. Just like that. Flip. Tie, or do the tie off. And you've created a chain with a picot. Now, if you notice on those other pieces, the rings were joined as well. The nice thing about doing these on the chains as well, you can actually join a ring here rather than to another ring, just to create different layers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a chain or a ring with a picot, and I am going to do, you notice my little first chain here is in my way, so I'm going to pull that down. Got 5 stitches there. I'm going to do another picot. Again, placing my finger just like that, because I'm just going to create a space. And I'm going to do this 2 more times. I'm going to create 2 more picots. Now the more picots you have, the frillier it will look. Sometimes you'll see a pattern that says 20 picots with 1 stitch in between. Basically what they're saying is you do a stitch, leave a space, a stitch, leave a space. So you're actually making several picots in a row, and it's actually going to make it look very frilly. If you look on this pink piece that I have here, on the rings there, if you notice, they look very frilly, and that's because I did the picots with one stitch in between. So now what I'm going to do is again do our ring, the little sandwich here to hold. Make sure my thread doesn't twist up on me. You'll find some of your softer threads do twist up a lot more. And by softer we mean by body. The craft thread that I showed you earlier. It's a good starting thread, but it is what we call a soft thread. It doesn't have a lot of body in it. Making sure nothing's caught in my loop. Bring my needle through my loop before I close it completely off. There you go. Now you notice I just did 2 picots there. That's okay. And then I'm just going to reverse it and secure. Now, if I want to join a ring, another ring, or even a chain to this picot, it's very easy to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create another chain. I'll do the picot. I didn't count that, but that's okay. Pull it through to make my chain. Okay. Do the twist, do the flip, as it were, or the twist, whatever you want to call it. Basically what this does when you do this from the chain or from the, it puts you in position to do your next piece, to do your next part. Now because I want to join another ring to this picot right here, I'm going to do my 5 stitches, or however many that first was until that first picot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grasp it in my left hand, grab the previous ring in my left hand, put the needle through, just kind of wrap the thread around, and pull that thread that I wrapped around through there. Again, if you're using the needle, you put the needle through the picot, wrap the thread around, and pull that thread through. Now you can also use a crochet hook, and it's the same technique. You would just take your crochet hook, put it through the picot, pull the thread through, and put it over your needle. Then you snug it, and I kind of bend this back so it's out of my way, and then you just do your stitches again. And I'll make another peacoat there. Okay. And then I'll just make the ring, just like regular ring. Crochet cotton is a little more forgiving, especially the size 10, on knotting up. As you can see, it's really twisted here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do that, and that will untwist it a little bit. And then I just repeat the process of flipping from right to left. And it puts me in the perfect position to do another chain if I want. And my rings are joined. Now, yes, I did a peacoat here, but it also counts as a peacoat here. This is just a joint peacoat. Now, let's say I wanted to do a whole ring of